Tuesday, May 31st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East. I hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. And, of course, Memorial Day weekend kind of marks the unofficial start of summer. And it feels like summertime out there for sure. We are in the grips now of a pretty significant heat wave across the region. And it looks like we have a lot of 90s on the way for highs right on through the weekend and into parts of next week. Now, we will have some thunderstorm chances mixed in there. I'll get into that as we get into today's edition of the video. Let's take a look back at the storm reports from Memorial Day, and there was a pretty good number of them focused on the northern half of the Plain States, especially Nebraska and to southeastern South Dakota, including 20 tornado reports mixed in there. Lots of warm, muggy air across the eastern half of the country. There's our 4 a.m. Eastern time temperatures. And you're looking at that deeper shade of red. That's 75-degree plus readings for temperatures across much of the plains in the Mississippi Valley and a lot of the Carolinas, at least 70 degrees for those temps this morning. Dew point temperatures are up there. That darker shade of red is the 70-degree dew point contour. Almost everybody, once you get east of the Plain States, with 60-degree plus dew point temperatures. Very muggy conditions overall. Now, there's the thunderstorm activity this morning, focused ahead of a cold front. You're looking at some thunderstorms there in parts of the plains, and there is a pretty significant severe weather risk up around the Great Lakes region today. In fact, a moderate risk covering a good chunk of Michigan, with the biggest threat being wind damage. There's the wind probabilities coming up for later today. Now, that's along the cold front that the main energy here is heading up into Canada. However, that trailing cold front will interact with a very unstable air mass tomorrow and probably kick off a few thunderstorms from the northeast down into parts of the Carolinas. And there's a slight risk out there from the western Carolinas on up through much of the northeast and a new one back in the Plain States as well. This is the upper air pattern for today. Again, notice that upper level energy way off to our north and west, a big ridge stretching from the southern plains into the eastern part of the United States. This is what the pattern looks like by Thursday. And notice the heart of that ridge does ease back into the middle part of the country, allowing somewhat of a northwest flow aloft. That means occasionally we might see one of those big complexes of storms try to rumble down our way. And those are almost impossible to kind of time out in advance, more than a day or so ahead of time. But that's the pattern for the end of the work week, and then the ridging tries to nose back in here again over the upcoming weekend. Let's quickly take it day by day. Today is going to be hot and humid. We're looking at high temperatures around the region in the mid to even some upper 90s. Heat index values cruising past 100 in some spots this afternoon. Now tomorrow, with that weakening front dropping in, late afternoon and the evening probably will feature some at least scattered thunderstorms out there across the region. And the storms that do pop could be severe with some damaging winds or large hail. That'll be tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. And then that front just kind of fizzles out, but that lingering low-level boundary, probably enough to kick off a few afternoon storms there on Thursday. Thursday's high still in the 90s. And by the way, a number of record highs will probably be broken across the region today and tomorrow. Friday, again, probably the chance of a few thunderstorms popping up during the afternoon, but on any given day here, most folks probably dry. Saturday looks hot, highs well into the 90s. Same deal on Sunday, highs way up in the 90s. And then as we get into Monday of next week, more heat, highs in the 90s. Just no big pattern changes in sight here as we go through the next week or so. And tropical season starts tomorrow, so I guess beginning on tomorrow's edition of the video, I'll kind of highlight what's going on in the tropics and begin to see if we can sniff out any type of tropical development here as we go forward in time, as we have the Atlantic hurricane season again officially starting tomorrow. All right, that is it for today. Stay cool and check on anybody you know that does not have access to air conditioning. It is those pretty oppressive levels of heat here in coming days. All right, have a great day and God bless.